Here at Trust the Profits, we are awesome again. Trust the Profits, your friend, the formula here. And yes, we're going to be talking about the Awesome Again stakes. It is coming up. It is a BC win you're in for the Classic. We've got a field of probables and possibles right now. It is a race that's going to be run at Santa Anita. It's a G1, 9 furlongs, 1 1/8 mile on dirt. Yes, one of these horses will get a stamp into the Classic, the Breeders' Cup Classic, and yeah, I guess. And so because these are probables and possibles, we don't have the entries yet. We are merely taking a guess. Yes, let me say that at the outset. Some of these horses may not be entered in. We're only looking at what we think is going to be possible today, and of course, jockeys we don't know about as well. We just went off of the past races to understand who might be the jockey. But anyway, let's move forward. Let's talk about who could be in Stiletto Boy. 4 wins in 24 races lifetime for Stiletto Boy. Last couple times out had some problems. Did not finish at the Pacific Classic. Real deep race in that Pacific Classic. Was awkward most of the race. Never really seemed to start properly. Eased up after the far turn. Uh, did not finish for Stiletto Boy. What else can you say? The race before that, though, Stephen Foster. w- Um, Sixth place finish there, 4 lengths behind West Will Power. Stiletto Boy was one of those horses that had a really nice in the money finish rate, especially recently. Third place before that at Oak Lawn, winner of the Santa Anita Handicap, third at the Pegasus, so on and so forth. He's a pace stalker, hits the board a lot, but obviously the last couple times out, less frequency. Practical Move. It's been a while since I screwed up his name and said Practical Magic, but that's not going to happen on this show today. I'm saying Practical Move the whole way through. 4 wins in 7 races. That's a pretty nice clip, but hasn't run since April of this year. That's a 5 month layoff. Was on the Derby Trail. Was the favorite of the West group, I would say. Had 3 wins in a row there, just lightning on fire, Practical Move. And this wasn't a Baffert Yakteen horse. This was the true Yakteen horse, and probably the best in the West up until April. Last time out, did win the Santa Anita Derby, as I mentioned, a G1 win, a nose over Mandarin Hero, Skinner finishing third in that race, who might also be in this race. Winner of the San Felipe, depending on how you pronounce it. Some are right, some are wrong. 2.5 over Go Rocket Ride in that one. Go Rocket Ride, who's become a pretty prolific horse coming out of that West Conference as well. Also Skinner in that race. Winner of the Los Alamitos. If only I could pronounce that right one of these days. Futurity, G2 by 3 lengths over Carmel Road. It's going to stalk the pace. That's what Practical Move does. Then he closes hard down the end. Win, win, win. But again, 5 month layoff. Is it going to be too much for Practical Move coming into this G1? Then we have Defunded. Defunded's been an up and down horse. As soon as you count him out, he just rattles off 4 wins in a row. As soon as you start playing him, he starts falling to the back. Sixth place out, 10 lengths back of the Pacific Classic. He was a horse that I was saying, put him in your box, put him in the key box. Don't key him, but put him underneath. Um, Never really got going. He was in the middle. Just was not one of the better horses in that race. Fourth place at the San Diego Handicap, losing by 3 lengths to Senor Buscador. But before that, Hollywood Gold Cup beat Paroli in that one with the Gates Wire win, won the Californian, where he came from sixth place at the 3/4 mile mark to win by more than 4 lengths in that one. Came in third at the San Anita Handicap. Yeah, it's a horse for Bob Baffert that has done a lot of good, but he's been up and down. It's hard to tell what you get with Defunded. Slow down, Andy. I love this horse. So, yeah, when we played the Pacific Classic, I did give away the trifecta in that race. Slow down Andy was a key part of that because he was the one underneath that gave the most payout in that. We've been seeing some good in the money movement from Slow Down Andy, 11 out of 13. Third place to Arabian Night and Go Rocket Ride in the pack class. I tried to do something there, didn't work, did it? Okay, that's fine. Second to Senior Buscador in the San Diego Handicap, losing by 1 1/4 in that one. Sixth at the Metropolitan, losing by 10 lengths. Deep field, Cody's Wish, Zandon, White Barrios in that one. And that was his first race back after a 7-month layoff. Third place at the Breeders' Cup Mile, though. I mean, that says something right there, doesn't it? And winner of the Del Mar Derby. That's going way back, though. So only twice outside of the money. Once coming after a long layoff. I do like Slow Down Andy a lot. KATONAH, 4 wins in 11 races. Only stakes race was the Pleasanton Mile. It was a three plus length victory, beating Tripoli and CZ Rocket in that one. Not too bad, not too bad. 4 wins, all in 2023, mainly claiming races at Santa Anita, and a lot of one-turn races, 6 furlong, maybe an 8 furlong sprinkled in there. Rarely stretched out for more than 8.5 furlongs, and we're going 9 in this one, right? I got KATONAH as a toss if he does enter. Piroli, 7th place finish at the Pacific Classic, sticking close to the pace early on and then fading back. Got some big horses in that race, got some big horses setting big pace, and Piroli was not ready for it. He stunned a few people though with that 2nd place finish at the Hollywood Gold, 1 length behind Defunded. I had him as a insta toss in that race. Came in third in a couple allowance races here and there. Blah blah blah. Piroli, this is deep. It's not the Hollywood Gold Cup field. I think he's going to be outmatched here as well, unless he's got a little trick up his sleeve. Skinner. What are we going to say about Skinner? That's right. 1 win in 8 races, 5th place at the Pacific Classic, improving from 7th to 5th. By the end, still 5 lengths back of Arabian Night. Second at the Los Al Derby, 2.5 lengths behind Reincarnate in that one, in a 5-horse race. Third at the San Felipe, sat at the back of the pack, made a charge to close from 5th, losing by half a length to Practical Move and Mandarin Hero in that one. It was a sexy pick for the Derby when a lot of people had Skinner getting potentially added into the mix when horses like Practical Move were looking to scratch, but eventually Skinner himself did scratch. I have not been nearly as high on Skinner as some people have, especially in a race of this caliber. So I'm not so much favoring Skinner in this one. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Bye bye, Bobby. Bye bye, Bobby. This is a sexy one. So 11 in the money finishes out of 15. Great showing in 2 recent graded stakes races. Second at the Pat O'Brien, a G2, finishing less than a length off of um, Anachrist. Yeah, I'll go with that. 1 length ahead of CZ Rocket in that one. Third, and the Cougar 2 G3, 5 lengths behind Order and Law, and 2nd place there, Azul Coast. Before that, 2 Sunray Park Stakes wins. Will likely stay on or close to the pace. 9 furlongs. Todd Fincher, this is going to be an interesting horse if he does enter in. I think we're starting to get into the possibles now. Bye bye, Bobby, an outsider, very interesting outsider. Fort Bragg. We're getting deep into the Baffert barn now. We're talking about Fort Bragg. 2 wins in 9 races. 4th place at the Jerkins G1. 4th place out of 6. That was the depressing race where, why do I have to keep talking about this race where New York Thunder perished, unfortunately. So it's really hard to tell in this one where Fort Bragg would have ended up if it would have been more of a clean race. Before that, he did win the Dwyer Stakes, a G3, by a nose over Saudi Crown, staying close to the pace and fighting down the stretch for a win there. Second at the Pat Day Mile. Hasn't been my favorite Baffert horse out of this group, but he's shown a couple things along the way, especially lately. If you put a line through the Jerkins, Fort Bragg has been um, an up and comer for Baffert, I think is safe to say. Missed the cut. 4 wins in 10 races. All 4 wins, though, in the UK. Since shipping over hasn't looked nearly as impressive. 4th place at the Del Mar Handicap on turf. Going 1 3/8 miles there. Claiming 2nd place down the stretch, but did fall back to 4th there when the wave came in. Finishing 1 1/4 lengths back of Gold Phoenix. Strong horse. 7th at San Diego Handicap, opening in at 3rd place, but fading back, losing by 7 lengths to Senior Buscador. It's a John Sadler horse. starting to make his way in the States. And Azul Coast. So we got some more Bafferts for you. So here's Azul Coast, 4 wins in 16 races. Likes Baffert likes to put this one in the long distance races like the Del Mar Handicap. Finished dead last there though. He was going second place most of the way. I think he just ran out of gas there. It's a 10.5 for a long race. Just didn't look like he was ready for that type of pace, or maybe even knew how long the race was going to be. Second, ran second in the Cougar 2, 2 lengths behind Order and Law after setting the pace early on in that one. Second at the Native Diver, 4 lengths behind Defunded, who's obviously in this race. And last year's awesome again, he finished 8th place there, Azul Coast. And finally, Celestial Moon. I mean, when you search for Celestial Moon and horse on Google and you look for an image, you're going to get crap like this. I'm just telling you that right now. 3 wins lifetime. Never run in a stakes race previous. Last time out, he did get his third win in an 84K 1 mile allowance race at Del Mar. Previous to that, most of his races won in Aqueduct. Again, he's possible. I wouldn't say he's likely to get entered. If he does, he would be an insta-toss for me. So where does that leave us? Leaves us right here. Who's a safe play? I know he's coming off the layoff, but I am going to say Practical Move. I just like the horse that much better than any other horse in this race. I mean, I do like Slow Down Andy a lot, and that's why he's my value play. And I'm curious to see how much value you do get out of him here. He had a third place finish at the Pack Classic last time out. I wonder how much that bumps up his value. But I'm going to say Practical Move. That's my horse. Slow Down Andy. That's my value play. And if you're going to play a key, you key on Practical Move, then you get Slow Down Andy. And then I put 2 Baffert horses here, Defunded and Fort Bragg. I really toyed around with Bye Bye Bobby here. As I look at it now, I do I want to find a way to get him in there. If I'm going to bump someone, I'm probably going to bump Defunded just because he's been so bad lately. But then again, if it's cyclical, Defunded's probably going to come back and get us a win here. So who knows? That's why I put Defunded in. So anyway, I'm going to go with what I got for right now. Practical Move, Slow Down Andy, Defunded, Fort Bragg. What do you guys have? Curious to see what happens and who gets entered in. Um, Also curious to see what you say down in the comments. Hit me up with comments. I love to read through your comments, and we'll see you on race day.